Grace and peace to you, beloved. Amy Wilson Feltz here. Thank you for joining me for Coffee with Pastor Amy on this Wednesday morning. I hope that you had a wonderful Easter celebration. I know that my family and I did. The kids received Easter cards from their grandparents in Iowa, and those cards included some money, and they were told that they could use that money to buy some toys if they wished. So on Monday, Natalie and Augie and I selected some toys, ordered them, and now we are waiting for them to arrive. Augie decided that he really needed some dragons in his life, and so he selected some colorful dragons, and they should arrive later this week. Well, yesterday, Augie asked me, "Mom, when are those dragons going to arrive? I really want them," he said. I said, "Well, of course you do. They're really cool dragons, and they'll be here in a few days." He said, "I want them now." And I said, "Well, I understand that, but there is nothing that I can do to speed up this process. They will arrive when they arrive, and it'll be a couple of days." And eagerness his eagerness to receive those dragons and his resistance to this period of waiting really got me to thinking about what it means to wait in this life. So many of us are waiting for something at any given time. It's certainly been a season of waiting for me and for my family over the past several weeks. I did not advertise this much, but after a few weeks of not feeling very well, I went to my medical provider and she ordered several tests. That was a long week of waiting to receive news, wondering if something was severely wrong. Especially in Holy Week, I was waiting during Holy Week to receive that news, and thank God everything came back normal and I'm perfectly healthy, and we celebrate that. But that waiting was difficult. Jason and I, like so many of you, are still waiting to receive the vaccine for COVID. We're waiting for those first hugs from extended family members. We're waiting to be able to travel more freely. We're waiting at the church right now in a season of transition as Pastor Bobby prepares to come here and serve at St. Paul's, and I prepare to go to Las Cruces and serve at Morning Star. It's a period of waiting, and it's so easy for us to get stuck in that waiting, to be paralyzed by all of the unknowns and the what ifs, and be wary of any surprises. But waiting is much more than just sitting still. There is a stillness in the waiting for sure. There's a stillness and a peace that we can cultivate with the power of the Holy Spirit. But waiting in an act of faith, waiting in the life of faith, is an active process. We talk much more about this in this season of Advent than any other season in the church. That season of preparation and waiting as we move toward Christmas, there is a stillness. As I said, there is a peace and a trust in God's faithfulness, but there's also an active part to waiting as we continue to work and move and live in the world, trusting that God is at work in our lives and inviting us to continue to participate in that work. And it reminds me of a favorite verse that I memorized as a girl, thanks to my dad. I'm going to read it to you this morning. It comes from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 40. It's verse 31. Many of you will be able to recite it with me. "But those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." So this is my prayer for all of us, for you and for me and for us in this world, that we would be able to find stillness and peace in the waiting. I don't know what it is. I don't know for what it is you're waiting, but I bet it's something, because that's the nature of human existence. So that's my hope and my prayer for all of us this week, is that we could find some peace. We could cultivate some stillness by the power of the Holy Spirit in our season of waiting, and that we would find the strength by that same power of the Spirit to continue to learn and grow and serve in this world as God is calling us to do, as we participate in God's work of bringing the kingdom to earth as it is in heaven. I would be honored to pray with you and for you this week, so please send me a message. I'll share my email address right here so that you can do that, and know that I am praying for all of us in our seasons of transition, wherever we find them now and in the future. Grace and peace to you. I look forward to seeing you next week here for Coffee with Pastor Amy.